Hey everyone, welcome to episode 325, Bonding Through Tantrums. Welcome to the Harmony in the Home podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Hutchison. I'm a counselor, a life coach, and most importantly, an imperfect mom doing this work right along with you. And my goal on our podcast is to go from chaos to calm, feel less frazzled, and have more fun within your four walls to have more harmony in your home. So we have been talking about tantrums for a couple weeks now. So I want you to go back and listen to last week's and the weeks before to kind of get an understanding of where I'm coming from when I'm talking about tantrums, and not to be scared of them and lean into them. And they're part of the human experience, and they're going to happen when they're toddlers and when they're teens. And small kids, small problems, big kids, big problems. Very, very, very true. So small kids, small emotions, big kids, big emotions. Before we talk about that, I want to talk about our sponsor. That it helps so much when you visit our sponsor. And even if you buy a bar of soap, it helps the show so much. So go to herbalfacefood.com. I've used this all the time on my face to help with fine lines, wrinkles. I have really bad rosacea and melasma, and I just have a lot of skin issues from all the sun damage that I've done by being in the sun my whole life and never using sunscreen as a kid and playing soccer, tennis, softball, always out in the sun. And I had really bad acne as a kid. So I thought, I could just burn off the acne. So I actually have a lot of acne scarring too, that it's helped so much with all of that. So I am a fan. And so if I'm a fan of it and if I'm using it, then I'm going to share it with you. So go to herbalfacefood.com and use the coupon code Harmony20 to get 20% off your first order, which I think is so cute that we have a coupon code. Like, what? We're just this tiny little podcast and we have a sponsor and a coupon code. I think that's so cute. So I read this today and I was like, I have to do a podcast immediately. Like immediately go, do not pass go, or collect your 200 and pass go. It's from the Facebook page, Shower Arguments with Emily Solberg. I just saw it, copied and pasted it, but I didn't check out her page. But if her page is anything like this, inspo following. So it says, I want to tell you about a story about a mother in a hole. This is her writing, not mine. It was a deep hole and she'd been there for quite some time. In fact, she couldn't quite remember when or how she even fallen. She was starting to despair of ever getting out. People around her were worried. Her family threw down a rope, but she couldn't climb up. Her doctor threw down a rope, but she couldn't budge. Then another mother came along. She took one look in the hole and, like all the others, tossed the rope over the edge. And then she climbed down. Wait, what are you doing down here with me? The first mother was puzzled. She looked the second mother in the eyes and saw the same pain and sadness and exhaustion reflected back at her. But there was something else, too. There was hope, an immeasurable strength. The second mother gave a kind and knowing smile and wrapped her arms around the first. I've been here before, she said, and I'm going to climb out with you. For all the mothers who climb down holes just to help another find her way back up. And she says, it felt like the right time to share this again. Mothers can find themselves in some dark holes. Maybe someone you know is in one right now. Please, please reach out. And if you are currently in that hole yourself, you are not alone. Just say the word and we will come down and get you. Can you even imagine how amazing that? What? I was like, yes. And of course, we're talking about other mothers. And I hope this podcast is us going down in the hole together, kind of figuring it out and climbing back out, because this is all so confusing. People are very reassured that it's hard for me too. So I'm just reassuring you that parenting is hard and it's supposed to be hard. That means you're doing a good job. It's like doing a half marathon or a marathon and then saying this is so hard and thinking that something's gone wrong because it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. You're pushing yourself. You're there at every turn, and then you're supporting other moms and other kids and other families, and then balancing your house and being a good spouse and managing your work and feeding the dogs, making sure you get enough sleep. Hopefully you're exercising, getting enough water. It goes on and on and on and on. So I think there's that validation and normalization that it's hard for all of us. It makes you feel less alone in that hole. And it might not be a hole. It might be like a little divot that you're in, or just a funk or quicksand. And I've been in all. I've been in holes. I've been in quicksand. I've been in dips. I've been in gutters. I've been in them all. And I've only been a parent for 17 years, not only, but so the reason why I share this is because the way that this podcast helps you and normalizes the human experience for you as a mom and also for your kids and their big feelings, I want us to be able to give that same gift to our kids so they feel less alone. because small kids, small problems, big kids, big problems is very true. So when they're little and we're teaching them how to manage their emotions over the banana being peeled wrong or the wrong sippy cup color, we're teaching them when they're younger how to manage their emotions. So then when they're older and the big stuff happens, like the breakups, like not being invited to the party, like failing a test, like getting caught at school for cheating, like experimenting with alcohol, striking out, sneaking out and getting caught, sneaking out and not getting caught, and dealing with the guilt. All of those things are going to happen, whether it's in your four walls or your neighbor's four walls or your best friend's four walls or your sister's or your brother's four walls. And the best thing that we can give to someone else is to go down in that hole with them, and especially for our kids. So when they're younger and they're upset, instead of having them be in trouble, it's like, oh, I know what upset feels like. I've been there too. So their holes are a lot smaller and they're much more manageable because they don't have any emotional regulation yet and they're not supposed to. A lot of times we think something has gone wrong because they're not able to regulate their emotions. So then we put all these labels on them, like they're OPD and BPD and ADD and ADHD and FTD and BPFTR, all these labels like something is wrong with you. Where versus we could say like, hey, this is part of the human experience. Throughout your life, 50% of the time, you're probably going to feel disappointed, frustrated, angry, overwhelmed, annoyed, helpless. And then 50% of the time, you'll probably feel joy, happiness, gratefulness, euphoria. Because just like in sports, there's lots of wins and there's lots of losses. Grady gets so upset when the Cubs lose. I'm like, as they say, bruh. They have 162 games a season? So I guarantee they're going to lose some and they're going to win some. I promise on a stack of Bibles, that's how it's going to work. And he always seems surprised when they lose. And I'm like, dude, it's going to happen. Just like in life, you're going to feel all these feelings. So if we can normalize that, and that's why I love step 2 and 3 of the 4 steps that we talked about last week. David loves new shoes. We detach our ego. We label the emotion. We normalize the emotion. And then we offer support. That normalize and that the labeling is powerful, but that normalizing and that empathy goes a really long way because that brings you so much closer post tantrum because it's like, oh, this person gets me. It's kind of like if I called you after a tough day at work and I'm like, I am just so overwhelmed. I had 75 emails. I probably responded to about 25 of them. I feel like my boss isn't happy. He's always grumpy. She's always grumpy. I was supposed to get a raise. I was overlooked for the raise. Like it's all happening in 1 week. It just feels like the sky is falling. And then you say to me, get over it. Calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Calm down. Relax. You're overreacting. And I might be overreacting because a lot of times it feels like the sky is falling. I remember one of my kids used to get out of school. It would be 2:20 and they would be bawling as soon as they got in the car. I'm like, what's up? And they'd be like, I have to do homework. I have to read my Bible. I have to go to soccer. And then I have to do my prayers. And then I have to brush my teeth. And then I have to, like, the sky was falling because this person, don't want to say any names, was running through everything they needed to do from 2 o'clock, 2:20, 3 o'clock, whatever it was, until 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Their bedtimes used to be so early. Oh my gosh. Now they put us to bed. And they were so overwhelmed because the sky was falling and they just had to get it out. And I'm like, oh, that's overwhelm. Oh, I know what overwhelm feels like. That's totally normal. Versus getting mad at them and getting upset with them and putting them in timeout or taking away screens or doing whatever we do because we're upset that they're upset. And so just like you would support a friend and go in that hole with them and a mom and a sister and a brother and a family member, we can give that same gift to our kids and actually grow through the tantrums. And I don't like to call them tantrums, but just grow through the hard together. And especially when they're younger, we get so upset that they get so upset, but I promise on a stack of Bibles, they're going to be upset a lot of their life. And so teaching them how to manage those emotions is going to make their life a lot easier and our life a lot easier. So try the steps. Think about going into the hole, going into the divot, going into the gutter, going into the ditch, so to speak, with your kids versus having them being in trouble and offering them a rope and supporting them through it through empathy, support, and modeling what you want to see. And I promise on a stack of Bibles that storms will be less intense, less duration, and less frequent, but they will still happen. And you're not going to be so scared of them because you're like, oh, this is what Kelly was talking about. I have to hop into the hole with my kid right now instead of running away or getting upset that they're upset. Because then we're just two upset people and no one's helping anybody and they don't have a clue of what to do. We're the grown up. We have to step into emotional adulthood and help the little kids and the big kids because life is tough for them just like it's tough for us. I love you guys and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Hey mamas, thanks for listening. If you had any ahas, clicks, or those lightning bolt moments while listening, you have to check out my free parenting bootcamp, where we take all of this to the next level and we try to create even more awakenings for ourselves so that we can connect more with our kids and never yell at them again. You can sign up at www.coachingkelly.com. And if you really want to fill up my love cup, send me an email of what your aha was, what your click was, what was that lightning bolt moment while you were listening. I want nothing more in life than for you to have harmony in your home and to learn how to be an imperfect mom like me, which allows your kids to be imperfect too, each and every day. Thanks for listening.